contemporary lifestyle throughout the duration. They sleep in tents, porta potties, and showering is very limited. Although this lifestyle is accepted by these people, the festivals are dominated by those underneath the ages of 25 who continue to use the phone and use them like they would at home. The public uses their phones to take pictures, text, and communicate with those at the music festivals and find them in the crowds, post to social media, and interact with the performers. Because of this, venues and competitors alike are having a serious issue meeting the demands of these tens of thousands of attendees. And currently, to make matters worse, they're missing the number one customer need, portability. They require you as an attendant to detach yourself from the music festival in order to stand near an outlet for up to 2 hours to charge your phone. So Wintergise is ready to offer the first portable solution. Our business model scales in a linear fashion, so we are targeting 17 music festivals along the West Coast, capturing $1 million in revenue annually and servicing 81,000 customers a year. To generate our revenue, we need to acquire our first three major components to our system: our turbines, our charge truck, and our portable batteries. We decided to use wind in this market because vendors pay by square foot area. So instead of competing for other ground space with other vendors, we are maximizing our airspace for no additional costs. Now, our turbines will be charging our 12-volt batteries that will then be transferred to our charge truck. Our charge truck is a modified 2004 GMC food truck that will be used for turbine transportation to and from the festival, as well as acting as the point of sale at the festival. Inside our charge truck, we have a mass charging station that transfers the energy captured from the wind to our 5-volt portable batteries that will then be rented out to the public. Now, these rentable portable batteries are your standard off-the-shelf 2.6 amp-hour batteries capable of charging your phone in 2 hours. Our transaction process is the following. We'll be using a pricing strategy of a $10, which means that we'll be asking for a $10 deposit that provides economic incentive to returning the portable battery. We'll be asking for a $10 servicing fee that not only allows you to charge your phone, but also allows you to return it at a convenient time for you. So you don't need to detract yourself from the music festival at a time you would not like. If they do not bring it back within the first 12 hours, we've applied a $10 late fee that's prorated for an additional 12 hours. After 24 hours by the initial sale, you will forfeit your deposit. Now, our transaction process is a scan, swipe, go method. Inside the charge truck, we'll be taking our portable batteries, we'll be scanning them, momentarily taking the user's credit card or debit card, swiping it, and then they will be on their way back in the festival, not near an outlet, with an email receipt in their hands. Now, our entire system is self-sustaining by our own energy. We'll be using 5-volt portable battery chargers, barcode scanners, as well as our iPads or Square. This is so we do not need to depend on the music festival amenities that are powered by gas-generated charging stations. So, in order to deploy our turbines at our music festivals, we need to meet two requirements. We want to maximize our energy capacity as well as to meet the return on investment of 5 to 1, while ensuring that safety is our number one priority. In doing so, our FEA analysis proved that our turbines maintain a safety factor of 2 and 15 per meter second wind speeds, and this is before our furling brake causes our turbine to cut out of the wind. Next, we will be using 1.7 meter blade lengths, and if we put in 4 meter per second average wind speeds at our music festivals, our Weibull distribution curve shows that we are able to generate 4 kilowatt hours per day, and that power output is equivalent to 307 portable batteries and $3,800 of revenue daily per turbine. In order to do this and meet their power generations, Wintergise will be using a 3-stage axial flux generator necessary and adaptable to our market for these low cutting speeds. So of the 17 music festivals we've identified, we're ensuring that we're going to only those that meet the above the cutting speed of 3.5 meters per second. But in order to do so, we need to purchase warehouse space in cost-effective Salt Lake City, Utah suburbia to fit these needs. And on top of the 3 full-time employees, we need 6 part-time employees to help us and assist us during festival operations. Prior to the festival starting, these employees will be setting up and installing our turbines along the perimeter of the music festival to avoid consumer interactions and avoiding high traffic areas. We want people to see the turbines, enjoy the turbines, but we don't want them to touch them. Next, during the festival, they will be acting as our cashiers and operating our charge truck. To ensure that we, on the opposite side of the spectrum, the 3 full-time employees will be acting as the supervisors, doing safety checks of the turbines daily, as well as transporting the 12-volt batteries from the charge truck to the turbines and vice versa. Now, to ensure that our turbines remain safe throughout all of our deployment, we saw that our 17 music festivals can be broken down into the 3 following soil characteristics: grass, sand or mud, or pavement. To ensure our turbines stay safe, we developed 3 different guy wire staking strategies to meet these needs. For grass festival, we will be using ground screw stakes. For mud and sand, we will be using short, wide body metal containers filled with concrete and stackable rubber weights for pavement. To our knowledge today, and after communicating with people, vendor managers at these outdoor music festivals, we have not identified any permitting issues. This is because at these music festivals, they are almost like large cities. They all require a stage, have large entertainment booths, and the occasional carnival run. So we hope that we can fulfill this later on, but we see that there's no permitting issues currently. Now, to ensure that our Wintergize remains safe, we'll be purchasing 3 insurance packages: workers' comp, auto insurance to protect the charge truck and employee transportation to and from, as well as business owner insurance for general liabilities and commercial property. In the case of a music festival having severe weather or wind speeds, it is likely to shut down for the protection of the attendees themselves. Wintergize will follow the same protocol, and we have enough employees on hand that we can lower our turbines to a safe height and also protect our turbines up to within an hour from the alarm, the incoming weather. Now, before we're able to go to these music festivals, additional development is required. So we've allocated a full year to finalize mechanical and electrical designs, as well as to test our manufactured turbine out in the field. And while doing so, we will continue to raise company awareness, networking with our venues, as well as raise additional funds via grants. But by October 2017, we'll be ready for an investment. What we'll do first is we'll contract manufacturer of 3 turbines, acquire and repurpose our food truck into our charge truck, as well as purchase 3,000 portable batteries sufficient for the first few months of operation. We will then next recruit, hire, and train our part-time employees and begin going to these music festivals by April 2018. By August 2018, the company will have broken even and we will begin scaling the company. For the following Octobers, we will be purchasing additional turbines and growing company inventory. For the next 2 years, we'll be operating from the months of February to October with stable profits and cash flow. By October 2020, we will be ready to enter our secondary markets with the 9 turbines in our company inventory. Or we will be seeking company sale as our exit strategy. To put values to our plan, here's Wintergize's financial statement. As you can see, our revenue jumps up significantly from year 1 to 2, however it begins to level off in year 3. That's because in year 1, we only have 3 turbines at our disposal, but in year 2, we have 8. And you see that the revenues begin to level off in year 3 because we have the self-imposed limitation and assumption that venues will not allow us space for more than 8 turbines at the music festival. However, that will be negotiated later on once we solidify contracts with the vendors. So we wanted this to reflect our financials conservatively, and on top of that, our return on investment of 5 to 1 is conservative as well. When having our company valuation, we've only taken into consideration our annual profits and the potential to earning ratio of 7, but that does not include the dividends that can be dispersed in year 2 and 3. So as we conclude, we need your help to get off the ground. We need $200,000 to acquire our first 3 turbines and purchase our charge truck. But at Wintergize, we believe that we're going further than just providing portability and convenience to music festival goers because we are the first vendor in the United States in this marketplace that uses wind energy. We're starting to go into uncharted territories, but we're ready to prove that the future is here. At Wintergize and Penn State, and with your help, we are ready to make the standard gas generator charging stations a thing of the past. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thanks. Great presentation, guys. So one question I have, I mean, obviously, even you're looking at wind resource assessments that from the wind speed maps and judging based on their average compared to your cut-in speed. And obviously, in these festival settings, trees around and buildings, or how dependent are you on the fact that your turbine is generating energy and generating revenue on site, or is there some sort of advertising angle to the fact that the turbines are there?
So one of the things unique about Wintertest is that we don't want our revenue model to be dependent on advertising, because it requires you to detach yourself from the festival to stand and see the advertisements. Now, we do have promotions along the music festival, but what we're able to do is we're able to charge a column to the festival with as many portable batteries as we can, pre-charged, and that our revenue model is actually self-sustaining during the festival. So we can use our turbines set up at our warehouse prior to the festival starting to have our portable batteries charged, so that when we get to the music festival, we can sell out as fast as we can, meeting the need. And currently, competitors are having wait times of 15 to 45 minutes. If it's a free service, or still waiting in line just to get access to the locker stations. So by having a portable service, we can sell out as fast as we can and have our transaction process go smoothly.
And are you when you're charging the batteries offsite, are you using the same turbines, or are you getting?
Yes, we'll be using our turbines. Also, we have a plan B of adding a few solar panels to the top of our charge truck. It's a 7 by 22 foot rooftop of our charge truck, so we can at least have the minimal revenue coming in to self-sustain us at small festivals.
Great presentation, indeed. So, have you considered actually just ditching the batteries? So, does your revenue model assume that most people aren't going to bring them back? Because that way you don't have to worry about battery degradation and those kinds of things. It's off your books. And then also, have you considered adding like QR codes, I should say?
Sorry, what's the last part?
QR codes, right? It's just a scannable two-dimensional code as advertising on the battery itself. So when someone says, "Hey, where'd you get that?" You say, "Scan this," and now you just earned another customer for the next festival. Have you looked at those kinds of things?
We actually did look at QR codes, and that was just simplicity that we knew that barcodes have been used in the field currently, but we know that modern the QR codes are the way to go, so we can easily implement that as well. Your first part of the question, remind me.
The first question was, do you have a way of looking at the batteries almost as disposable? So I did the quick math. It's $100 a kilowatt hour. It's a very lucrative, strategy for actually getting revenue off of the small turbine. I wish I'd thought of it. But have you looked at just ditching the batteries so you don't have the ongoing, replacement?
We see that our batteries at unit price is only $3.50. We are sure to capture that immediately off if they do not return the portable battery. But we found that it's most profitable to have this rentable portable battery model, because these festivals last 3 to 5 days, and as we know that people would typically bring portable chargers themselves, some obviously do forget or don't think about it, this is their first time, but by the 3rd or 5th day, their own portable batteries have been depleted. So I don't see that they would be wanting to buy another battery if they already have one, but we are just allowing that temporary solution for them.
Just quickly, thank you very much for your presentation. It was great. I really liked your timeline, and I like that you've given thought to an exit strategy or endpoint for the business. And then just makes me think, have you thought about a franchise model at any point throughout doing any company?
I can be honest and say we haven't let our time up to this competition look towards our franchise model. That's probably most likely given the wind speeds that we've seen that there are areas within the Midwest and also partly in the Northeast, but we identified that the West Coast had a high density of music festivals as well as the higher wind speeds on average, just to ensure that our revenues are as conservative as possible, and that it was the most. I mean, we know that startup companies are most likely to fail, so we want to ensure that our first market is going to be the most level-headed as possible.
Thanks, great presentation.
Thank you very much.